everyone, how you doing today? My name's Kirsty, aka Beth Bookish, and on today's video I am bringing you what are probably going to be incredibly inaccurate and incorrect guesses of what the prompts for the 2025 Our Fantasy bingo board is going to be. Honestly, this is just a little bit of fun. I wanted to do a bit of a filler video, and yesterday I wanted to check because, you know, some reading challenges release their prompts a few days early, some release them a few weeks early, and then there are others that release sort of, you know, quite late or like the day before and things like that. So I thought, well, our fantasy bingo for 2024 is almost complete. So let's check out and see if the 2025 prompts have been released yet. The answer is no, they have not, but the creator of the bingo board has uploaded this, which I also have on my phone so I can look at the covers for reference, with their picks for this year's round. And on Reddit there is a thread of people guessing what these prompts are, so I figured, hey, I'm going to join in and add my guesses to the mix. If you don't know what Our Fantasy is, which honestly I did not know what it was last year. It wasn't until I saw a few videos, I think like Brie from Four Paws and a Book did a video, and I was like, oh, what is this? Another reading challenge? Let's check it out. And it's a challenge held over on Reddit, on the like Reddit fantasy board, where every year from April the 1st of that year till March 31st the following year, we do a bingo board that has 25 challenges. Some are the same prompts every year, so there's always a book club read, there's always a like that year released. So obviously I know that they're going to be somewhere in here, and then each prompt has an easy and a hard mode. For example, okay, so to give one that I actually did, we have already forgotten. Oh my god, this is why I should not film when I've not slept. Ow. So one that I actually did complete was Orcs, Trolls and Goblins, oh my. The standard prompt was that the book featured them in any way, shape or form. The hard prompt was that the main character was one of them, and so I read Legends and Lattes, which meant I completed it on the hard mode because Viv, I can't even remember, is an orc. She is the main character of the story. I actually, of the ones I completed, because we've still got a few weeks before, we've still got like 2 weeks before the round's over, but I don't think I'm gonna complete anything else because there's some extra rules for the board. So it must be a fantasy, you can't repeat authors, and rereads don't count. So it is really tough to pick the books, and then with having the easy and hard mode, yeah. But I did complete over half the board, and of those, over half of them were on the hard mode. So I'm very proud of the fact that I did do that in my first year. I was also attracted to this because of the timing. A lot of challenges start in January, and you hit 3 months in and you start burning out, or you forget to track things, or you lose track. And I find that it's actually nice to have another one that it starts partway through the year, because it kind of rejuvenates me then for other challenges, because it's like, oh, well, while I'm looking at these, let's see what I've done with the other ones and see what I can do. So yeah, it's a great challenge. But anyway, that is a lot of explanation for what it is. But as I said, the creator, Happy Book Bee, has uploaded this image. I'm going to keep it up so you guys can see. But I'm going to go through each of the books that has been put on this chart, say what I think the prompt is, and kind of like why do I think that might be the prompt. And the very first one of these, so the top row on the left, is Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. I've just gone very basic, very simplistic, very obvious for this one, and I have chosen Paladins. I'm not trying to guess the hard and the easy, I'm just for now going with what do I think a prompt could be for a book, and what clues are on the cover already or that are part of the book. I haven't actually looked up what any of these books are about. I am purely going based off the covers here. That's quite amusing for me. So yeah, Paladin or soldier of some kind, something like that. Then we have The Last Shield by Cameron Johnston, and again, because it's got a shield on the cover, I'm thinking that it could be a book with armor or it could be like a sword and board fantasy where a war or battle is the primary. Let's do that so you've got a bit more space for the board. Where, you know, war or conflict or a battle is like a primary key part of the story. Dragons of Autumn Twilight, I again went very literal with the title and was like dragons, but then when I've looked at it, I'm like, this is giving me very kind of classic fantasy from like the 80s kind of vibe, and it's kind of got an adventuring party, so I'm wondering if it's maybe going to be like an adventuring quest type of story, you know, the hero's path trope adventure. I'm gonna go with that, so like classic hero's adventure trope. A Fragile Enchantment by Alison Saft. Honestly, I want to look this one up because the cover is stunning, and with that cover and the stunning in mind, I'm thinking like maybe a pastel coloured cover. The Blighted Stars by Megan E. O'Keefe is giving me very sci-fi or dystopic, but where it's got the planets and stuff in the background, I'm gonna go with it's gonna be a sci-fi fantasy blend. Coming down to the second row, Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinnerman. I've seen Gavin talk about this, and who else? Someone else has been reading this series and really loving it too. I can't think who it is, but it has really, really intrigued me, and I think it's going to be, the prompt's going to be Lit RPG, because that is exactly what this is. It's a literary role-playing game book. So I think Lit RPG might be the prompt for that one, or like a D&D inspired adventure. Then we have Grady Hendrix, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, and again, this is kind of like a this or that option. I'm thinking either a horror or a book about witches in particular. The next one is Faithbreaker by Hannah Kaner. This is the third and final book in the God Killer series, and I think that the prompt could be to read the final book in a series. Next up we have Melissa Blair, An Honoured Vow, which again, absolutely looking this one up because it looks fantastic, and it kind of, the cover is kind of ticking all my boxes and resonating really well with me. And for this, I think this one's going to be the 2025 release because it was released in January. Then we have The Teller of Small Fortunes. I know a tiny bit about this book thanks to Gavin. Again, he's probably going to get a few shout outs in some upcoming videos, so I've been binge watching him lately again. But he was talking about this book and I was getting cozy fantasy vibes from it. So I think this one's either going to be an Asian setting or influenced book, or it's going to be cozy fantasy. And seeing as cozy fantasy's kind of become a bit of a big buzzword lately, I think that's going to be the prompt. Race the Sands by Sarah Beth Durst. Isn't that the author of The Spell Shop? That's cool. Again, going by the cover where we've got like the sand and the, like, definitely a mythical beast on the cover, I have a feeling this one's going to be sort of like a desert setting, or maybe like Persian mythology inspired. That kind of, or Arabic inspired. I think it's going to be that kind of vibe. I was completely stumped with the next one, which is A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvie Catherall, I'm not sure. But this one kind of stumped me, so I've just gone with a long-winded title, like 5+ words in the title. That's what I'm going with for that one. Tusk Love by Thea Guanzon. My original thought was orcs again, but then I was like, well, we had that as a prompt this year. So now I'm thinking like maybe it's just going to be a generic like monster smut or something like that, or a fantasy romance, like a romantasy, something like that, which could also apply for the next book, which is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. But I have instead decided I think that's going to be the BIPOC author, because I think again that, no, that's not one. But yeah, I think maybe like a BIPOC author. The Unseen by, I'm not sure if this is Lila or Lila Glass, but I can't really ascertain much from this cover. It's kind of a bit vague for me, and it's a little bit it wouldn't be one that would stick in my mind and be very memorable. So I am gonna go with this being like a vague or unassuming cover of some sort. I'm probably completely wrong, but that would be a really cool prompt, you know, where the cover doesn't really tell you what the book is about. And so if you don't read the blurb, you really are going in blind. You can't really pick up ideas. And this one definitely, other than the little fairy wings that say that, oh, it's probably got fae in it, other than that, I don't really see what that could be. The next one, Myself and multiple other people have also said they think this might be the book club one, because I think there's a book club that goes on and this has been announced as the book club pick. The fact there's so many people on the guessing, like 4 people have said book club, tells me I think this is the book club one, and that is, I can't even read it here, The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. So that one was kind of like a throwaway one for me. I didn't know what else to put in there, so I just went with book club because everyone else seemed to be doing it and I wanted to be one of the cool kids. The Adventure Zone by, I can't read those names, it's too blurry, but The Adventure Zone, I have gone with either middle grade or maybe like a comedy, like a fantasy that's got a lot of comedy elements, or even like a graphic novel. But again, I don't know if they're going to do sort of format specific ones because everyone reads differently and there are people who don't read graphic novels in any way, shape or form. So I'm going to stick with middle grade or younger readers for this one, which sucks for me because I don't read that. Then we have Swords Point by L. Kushner. For this, again, it just looks so classic, so 80s. As soon as I looked at this, I was like, that is an 80s cover. And considering we had a prompt for the 90s this year, I'm going to go with published in the 80s for this one. And then with, this is the one that I am going to say the hard mode, because this year it was like published in the 90s and then has published again recently. So I'm going to say published in the 80s, with hard mode being that they have also published recently. At the Mouth of the River of Bees by Keej Johnson. I have looked this one up because, again, I originally went with a body of water in the title because river. Then I thought maybe bees and like insect on the cover, and then I looked up the book and it's a short story collection, and apparently that seems to be one that's done every year, so I think this might end up being the short story collection one. Next one, we have one that I guessed something, I then saw someone else's guess and I think it's such a fantastic guess, and I'm like, oh, I really want that to be the actual one now. So this one, The Traitor Baru Cormorant by Seth Dickinson. I looked at this and I thought that, like, with it being a mask, that maybe it would be something to do with like theatre or performance. So, you know, a book that features maybe like a travelling troupe or a circus or is based around theatrics. But then someone commented saying that they think the prompt could be somewhat like a traitor, and that the hard prompt will be that the main character is the one that's the traitor. And I was like, ooh, okay, that's better than my guess. I really want that. But my guess is performing some sort of performance part of the thing. Next one, Wearing the Lion by John Wiswell. I didn't look this book up. I know nothing about it, but I was just like, it kind of is giving me like, I don't know, Hercules kind of vibes. So I was thinking maybe it could be mythology or a retelling of like cult of lore or mythology from something. So that's what I'm going with for that. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. Because I know the first book was set in autumn and winter, my guess for this one is that it's going to be like a seasonal setting, so set in spring or summer, because it is giving me a very springy, summery vibe. Next up, we have Inkblood Sister Scribe by Emma Tors. For this, I have gone with a family relation, like a sister, a daughter, a mother, or just a family link somewhere in the title. The next one is clearly a manga. I don't know what it is, but the front girl kind of almost looks like, you know, Sailor Moon, where it's called, the trope is called Magic Girl, where it's like Sailor Moon, where, you know, regular high school girl transforms into this warrior, and it's quite a common trope in certain manga. So I was thinking wild card, completely out there, but let's go with that, magical girl. And then finally, Darkwater Daughter by H.M. Long. I am hoping and praying that it's going to be one that will also tick off my buzzword bingo board, which is pirates or, you know, set at sea. Those are both on my board and I have yet to fulfill them, so I'm hoping that that is going to be the prompt. Those are my guesses for the Our Fantasy Bingo board. If you yourself are either taking part or are now considering taking part, have you got a few guesses based off what I've done? Have you got any guesses different to me? Let me know in the comments. I'm always eager to hear your thoughts. It's the 18th today, so I want to try and get it out this week so that when the prompts drop, I can do a did I get them right and what are the actual prompts, and this is what I'm thinking of reading for them. So I can try and get that done in like early April if I can. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, And in the meantime, I hope you're all good. I hope you're staying safe. Don't forget to check out my Etsy and Patreon that are both always linked below, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!